Hey guys, Bryce Tubbs here. I just wanted to come and share with you how to grow as an accountant. Now, this is just a topic that's really near and dear to my heart because I know that 7 years ago, it's getting closer to 8 years now. We started in March of 2014. When I was starting my accounting firm, it was so challenging because I always thought that I was a couple problems away from the solution. I just didn't know what were those solutions that we need to do in order to get to that next level. And if I could have had a video like this, when I first started, I'd be a lot further ahead than where I am right now. We are at 6 figures within our accounting firm, and we do have the mentorship program, so we are doing moderately well for ourselves. But it wouldn't have taken us 14 months to get to $15,000 per month back when we started. Now, and also, if you want some help growing your accounting or your bookkeeping business, maybe you're an accountant, maybe you're a bookkeeper, and you've been trying to do it on your own. You just don't really know exactly what you need to do in order to win and hit your goals and really make the 6-figure level that a lot of people strive for in their business. Now, if that's something you've been wanting to do, but you just don't know how to go about doing it, or you just want to avoid having to go through all the pain and challenges that most people go through, I just invite you to go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you go and grow your business inside of our private mentorship program. Now, again, it's not for everybody. That's why we have to do that call, because we have to make sure it's a good fit for both parties. So back to what we're talking about. Okay, so there's really a couple skill sets that you need to master in order for you to really grow and really reach your goals. And when I say master, I think that's kind of an overstatement, because it's funny, I don't even consider myself mastered, right? I have 22,000 followers on my Facebook group, right? I have posts that have generated $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, written posts on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, right? But even then, there's always room for us to grow. So it's not that you have to master, it's just that you have to get competent at it, and then you keep improving your skills over time, and then you just keep making more and more money, and then the money doesn't really stop. No matter how long I've been in the game, it just doesn't stop. And it's really interesting to kind of see that, how there's always more room for you to grow and room for you to make more and more money. Or if you're just kind of trying to be comfortable in life, that's a really, really cool fringe benefit of this as a result. So the number one skill set you need to do is you need to go and really master and get an understanding of sales. Now, when I talk about sales, a lot of people, they don't really understand what I mean by sales. Sales is not necessarily pressuring people into, doing something they don't want to do, right? If you're trying to sell a product or a service, like a used car, yeah, that can work because there's only one time they have to buy it and they're kind of out of your hair for a long time. But if you're selling a service where it's a monthly recurring service that you have to be in contact with the person for months, even years, for these contracts that we generally get clients for that last with us for multiple years, right? That's the whole purpose of doing bookkeeping, virtual CFO, and monthly accounting service, is because it has that recurring revenue that just keeps going, and you can focus on servicing a smaller number of clients that pay you a higher amount of money per month. Now, the point of that is to say it's a slightly different thing. Sales for us means you need to learn how to build relationships and make friends with people who have a lot of money very quickly. Okay, so a good example is one of my students named JT. And when JT was getting started, he wasn't very great at speaking, right? So he could make friends whenever he was on camera and he did Zoom, because oftentimes when we're doing a virtual bookkeeping or virtual accounting business, we're online. We're doing this stuff virtually, right? So if you get nervous over Zoom, it's really hard for you to sell. So we had to really restructure the way that he, one, responds to people's questions, two, takes his time in between those conversations. For example, so whenever he would be talking, if someone would interrupt him or ask him a question, he would get very, very flustered. So we had to show him, hey, how to calm down, how to relax, how to kind of roll with the punches, and it made it a lot easier for him to communicate with people, and just made it really easy for him to grow, right? Because a lot of us are introverts, and a lot of people, especially when you start an accounting business, you come from a background where we do all of our work during the day. It's at least when I was in corporate America, it was you would come, you would do your work, then you would dip out. Do the work, dip out. Do the work, dip out. The less people I spoke to, the better, right? Because then I can just go home and I can kind of veg on the couch, watch some TV, and then just kind of repeat the cycle the next day. But when it comes to sales, it's really easy, right? Because all you have to do is just get good at knowing how to respond to people and knowing how to just really communicate your value, right? Now, the second part of sales, when we talk about value, I know that word just kind of comes up. At least for me, it was kind of a buzzword. Because what does value even mean, right? Because I was thinking, everybody should know why they need accounting. anytime I speak to an accountant or a bookkeeper, that's the number one thing I hear. It's like, I don't know how to communicate the value because everyone already knows what the value is, Bryce. But for some reason, when I start talking to people, they just totally forget the value is and they just don't understand why they need my help. I'm like, that's literally the point. Most people do not really understand the value. Now, here's the key thing. What an accountant or bookkeeper deems as valuable is different than what a business owner deems as valuable. So if you're just speaking for what's valuable for you, it's not going to resonate with what's valuable for them. For example, I had a student, I'm not going to name her name, but she was struggling with this accounting problem for a while, right? And she was trying to do it, and it happened like there was just an incorrect thing that the business owner did. And for accounting and bookkeeping, it makes it really hard for her to do her job. So this person was going back, she said, "Hey, client, I need you to undo what you just did. Go back, get that money back, and then put it in the correct way." And when I heard that, I was like, whoa, if I was the business owner, I probably would have just cut you off right then. I would have been like, "Hey, I think we're done." The reason why is because when you're the person who's being hired, you have to think about it from their perspective, right? The longer and the more you can think about it from the business owner's perspective, the easier it's going to be for you to convey that value to them. 2, you don't have to say as many words. 3, you don't feel like you have to be pushing people because they already want what you have. See, that's the trick that most people don't understand. If you can do a better job of listening and empathizing with what the other person wants, you're going to get more of what you want than you can ever imagine. And you don't have to push people, you don't have to say a lot of words, you don't have to really say anything. It's funny, on a lot of my consultation calls, especially when we're growing our accounting firm, I don't say a lot. I don't have to say a million words. I don't have to convince people. I don't have to do all that stuff. Why? Because in the beginning of the conversation, I'm listening to their pains, their problems, their concerns, right? And I'm really focused on how can I help this individual? What does this individual care about? What does the individual want out of life? What are their goals? I know they're starting a business, but what do they want to do after their business? For example, there was a gentleman who's one of our clients. He was starting a nonprofit, and he was building his nonprofit. On the surface level, it was for money, right? Because he wanted to build a brand. But on the subconscious and the underlying level, it was because he has a special needs daughter and he doesn't know how much longer he's going to be alive for. So he wants to build this asset that can be passed down to either his son or his wife that's going to continue to feed his family for years to come, even after he's gone, for his special needs daughter. So she never feels like she's alone and she's always supported, no matter what life kind of brings or throws their way. Right? So they came to us, and the value was not just, in crunching the numbers. The value was that we are stable enough to help him not only grow, but to maintain it even after he is gone. Because that is what our specialty is. We're helping him leave a legacy. We're helping him really secure his financial future. We're helping him really establish this brand that cannot be shaken and doesn't stop. And that's why people really come to you. So in that specific example, that was valuable for him. For somebody else, that might not be valuable, right? So each time you speak, that's a part of sales. That's why you have to get good at sales, because the better you can be at listening and hearing what the person wants and what they need, the more effectively you can position your service so that they actually want to work with you long term. Now, hopefully you got something out of this video. If nothing else, just understand it's about listening, learning how to communicate, learning how to not be flustered when people cut you off or when people interrupt you. And that's just the basis of what you need to grow as an accountant, especially if you're trying to be an accountant and you have your own business. Now, hopefully this video has been helpful for you. Now, if you're someone watching and you have your own business, or you've been thinking about starting your own business, but you just don't really know exactly what to do, you don't know how to grow, and you're trying to start an accounting business, a bookkeeping business, or a virtual CFO business, I recommend and I just invite you to go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to see if I can help you inside the private mentorship program. Now, again, the program's not for everybody. We have to be very, very, very careful with who we actually accept inside the program, because we do have an extremely high success rate. And since I'm running my other business, I have to make sure that we're only bringing on people who I feel like fit our mold, fit our character, fit our values, and we can actually get you to that level as fast as possible. So if that's something that you actually want to do and you want to see if this is a good fit for you and your family, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call to see if I can help you out. On the call, we're just going to say, where are you right now? Where do you want to go? If I think I can help you out, I'm just going to outline what that looks like and talk about how the program can help you out. And then we can deem at the end of the call whether or not you think it's a great fit at this moment in time, and we can get started if you do. If it's not a great time, then we can just talk about arrangements and what you need to do in order to, get in the future. So hopefully I see you on the call. If you're not quite ready for the call, it's A-OK too. I will see you inside the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.